Joining me on the panel, and for the first time, is Liz Storer, head of Advance Australia, Conservative political lobby group, and Bruce Hawker, who helped to run Labor campaigns federally and state, now head of the Campaigns and Communications group. Bruce, big or boring?
This is big. I'm not sure it's going to go anywhere because they'll keep denying it, but Bridget McKenzie was forced to resign for fiddling with the grants, and the audit commission found that she'd done so, and she paid the price. Now we're finding out, as we've always believed, that the Prime Minister's office has had a very significant role in the whole process. It's got to be serious, because if it was good enough for Bridget McKenzie to go, it should be good enough for the Prime Minister to go. And it really warrants a serious investigation, not just leaving it up to the head of the Prime Minister's department, who previously was the Chief of Staff to the Treasurer, but rather an independent inquiry into what happened, because this really goes to the heart of probity in the government.
Liz, I accepted it was a rort. I thought an outrageous one, and I thought that Bridget McKenzie should go, and she's gone. But now trying to tie in the Prime Minister as well, what do you reckon?
I think this is boring, boring, boring. Let's not forget, Bridget was stood down, not over all this other stuff. She was stood down for failing to declare a gun club membership. Okay, the Prime Minister has continually said he had nothing to do with this, despite the 136 emails that were exchanged between his office and the member's office. This isn't unusual. That's what happens between members in the PM's office. Nothing to see here. So either you're calling the PM a liar, which I am loath to believe, or he's telling the truth. The buck stops with the minister. We know that's how these things work. Labor's desperately trying to pin it on the PM for very obvious reasons. They've got very little else going on for them at the moment. But I tell you what, mainstream Australians aren't that concerned about this. This is not what's being discussed in the pub. And if they had a voice, they'd be saying, please get on with the business of government, because what's done is done. A minister's lost her job. Can we please get on with Parliament?
Bruce, I think too that what would make most Australians, I think as Liz just described, is that you've got the coronavirus coming. It's the wrong time, I think, for the Labor Party to be pushing this, when everyone's focused on the coronavirus. The scare has gone out of control. Costco completely selling out of toilet paper in 2 of its stores. Shops running short of things like rice and flour. What do you make of the scare? Is it too much?
Well, it was the Prime Minister's office that bought all the toilet paper. They're obviously in real desperate worry about what was going on, Andrew. But look, obviously the coronavirus is very serious, but that doesn't mean that the business of government doesn't continue in other areas. I mean, that's self-evident. And when something like this arises, where clearly there is a connection between what's been going on inside the Prime Minister's office and what Bridget McKenzie's office has been up to, and she's paid the ultimate price. Sure, they used the convenient line that, well, she didn't have a declared membership of a club. But what they were really saying was there was too much heat in this. Somebody had to go, and it had to be McKenzie. And of course, use the excuse of it being the undeclared membership of a gun club, because that takes all the pressure off the Prime Minister. I mean, it just goes deeper and deeper into what is clearly a mess.
In what you say there, Bruce. Maybe a little bit what you say, but the panic, as Liz says, I think it's just that. I think people are really looking at that at the moment. Hey, Liz, the panic. Do you think it's over the top? I mean, panic buying of toilet paper. Have you bought anything in as a panic buy in response?
No, I haven't. What's really amusing me, Bolt, is people are emptying the shelves of things that we produce here in Australia. So, yeah, I think that if you're going to panic buy, it's not tinned food. We have that. We can make it here. Some of the items that have supermarkets have reported running low on and empty shelves. I'm just like, guys, you got to look at what we're importing and buy up big on that if that's what you're actually concerned about. But look, I don't buy into the panic at all. But it's no secret our government is suiting up for some difficult days ahead. Today we saw the Reserve Bank pull one of its last levers, and I noticed a poll from Reuters. Interestingly, economists are saying that China's economy is going to slow to a pace comparable to that of the GFC. So obviously China, being our largest trading partner, is going to have extremely, no one can say what it's going to look like exactly. We just know that it's going to be pretty dire. And like I say, nobody's interested in sports rorts right now. We've got coronavirus on our hands. We're cleaning up after bushfires. We've got much, much bigger fish to fry.
Well, I'm going to talk to the Treasurer tomorrow. I'm going to talk to the Treasurer on tomorrow's show after the release of the national figures, which will tell us a fair bit about how we're travelling or not.